to another Sunnyside design tutorial today. We are in Ellie's room. We are just plugging away, getting more projects done. How are you liking your new room so far?
I like it a lot, and I covered my canopy over my whole bed.
Yeah, you kind of slept like it was a tent last night, huh?
Yeah.
And what did you say? You said it was like you're a...
princess and I was camping.
Yeah.
A camping princess. Awesome.
So would you like to tell them what we're working on today with this?
We're gonna work on a curtain for my window.
The first step into making a Roman shade is measuring the width and the length that you would like your Roman shade to be. Now they can be mounted on the inside or the outside of the window frame, and to whatever measurement you get from that, you will want to add 1 inch to the width and 4 inches to the length. Now the window that we are doing is a large window, and we are going to mount it on the outside of the window frame. And because of that, we need to piece our fabric together. So in order to do that, we cut our fabric to length, and we placed that down on the floor. That would be the center section. And we took the remaining fabric and pulled it up alongside and matched the pattern. We trimmed it a little bit large and then pulled the remaining fabric over to the other side to match the fabric as well. And we again cut it large. Once we had it laid out, we were able to cut it to our exact measurement, centering those two pieced pieces so that they were even on each side, and we cut it to the exact width that we needed. Once we had it all pinned together on our pieced edges there, we just stitched that with the sewing machine. Now we will need to create a lining fabric that is the same width as well. And so we just took our lining fabric, we used a blackout lining fabric, and did it the same way. We just stitched even amounts on the two sides. We decided to add a little bit of a decorative element to the front of our Roman shade. And so what we did is we bought some navy blue ribbon, and we cut it to the length of our Roman shade, and then we pinned it over that seam where we had to piece our fabric together. And this way we were able to totally hide our seam and add in this little bit of decorative element that was really going to make it a little bit special. So we just stitched down each side of the ribbon, securing it in place.
We have our fabric and our lining fabric pinned together, right sides together, and we're going to stitch along the sides with a 1/2 inch seam.
We stitched down both sides of the Roman shade, and then once we were finished with that, we turned it around with the right sides out and pressed the seam flat.
We're now going to create the hem that is going to be at the bottom of the blind, and we're going to leave a little opening here for a pocket for a dowel as well. So we're going to begin by just folding it over 1/4 inch, just a little bit, to turn the edge of the right side of our fabric over. And then once that is all folded over, then we can fold it up and create that pocket that we want to have. All right, we now are folding up that lower edge again, probably about 3/4 inch. It doesn't have to be exact. We just want to make a little pocket that we can slide in that dowel that will keep the bottom edge of our shade nice and straight.
Yes.
All right, we are now going to stitch that lower hem edge of the Roman shade. And we're going to stitch as close to that over left edge there as we can, so we create a little pocket. All right, we have cut strips of the lining fabric, and 3 inches wide, just the width of our Roman shade. And we're going to fold that in half and iron it. And this is going to be a little pocket that we are going to slide in our dowels to keep our Roman shade nice and even as we pull it up. It'll keep it from sagging. So we're going to iron it all the way down, fold it in half. All right, now what we're going to do is that cut edge, we're just going to fold it up about 1/2 inch. This doesn't need to be exact, and we're just going to iron that, fold it up like this. And then this is creating a little pocket when we stitch it on to our blind. We are now marking the back side, or on the lining side of our blind here, to mark where we're going to put the little, what do you call them? Slides,
Little
holders,
pockets.
the pockets for our dowels for when it pulls up. So we are spacing ours 9 inches apart, so our little fold will be about 4.5 inches. We have marked, let's see, I'll come down to the bottom here for a minute. We have marked 7 inches up from the bottom, and that will be our lower flap. And then we're just going to mark up 9 inches all the way up the blind. And ours is so big, our shade here, that we have to do this on the floor, so it's a little bit awkward at the moment. Get out of Steph's way here as she continues. You can have your little dowels separated about 9 or 10 inches. We chose 9 because it worked out evenly with the length of our fabric here. All right, we now have the little pocket area pinned on to the back side of the Roman shade. And now we will just stitch that in place. We just need to stitch one row of stitches, one line on each piece that will be near the line that we lined everything up to. I'll come in here and show you. So we're going to be stitching close to this edge right here, and then that's going to have a pocket right here that we'll slide our dowel in.
Okay, we have brought that piece now over to the sewing machine, and we are just going to stitch those dowel guides into place.
As hard as we try to keep it smooth, we had a couple of spots where
Just puckered a little.
puckered, so we got to use the seam ripper and pull it apart and restitch a couple of spots here. We've got all of our little pockets sewn for our wood. We're ready to sew little rings that will pull it up, and you can mount this on just a piece of wood, but we had some old wooden blinds that we're not using anymore, and we still had them, and so we've cut off the slats from the blind, and we're going to use that as our header for this. And so we're going to go and mark where each of the strings are coming out of the top bar of the blinds, and that's where we're going to sew a line of rings right here that will line up with each of those strings. And then we will have the pulling mechanism like a blind would have, and we don't have to use the little hook thing to hook the string on. Right, we are just stitching on these little plastic rings at the top of our little pocket where we've inserted our little pieces of wood, and then we just knot it. And we've done that across our shade here in four places. We've got a really wide shade. Our shade is 64 inches, and so we have got loops across here in 4 different places. Okay, we are getting ready to attach our Velcro to this blind frame. This was a wooden blind. This has got a metal header on it. And so we're going to attach the Velcro with this E6000 glue. It'll bond well to both. All right, then we're just going to press the Velcro into that glue, and then we will just put a few pieces of masking tape to kind of hold it tight and let it cure overnight.
For the top of our Roman shade, we are going to stitch on some Velcro as well. So we first folded down the top edge about 1/2 inch, and then we pinned on a 2-inch wide Velcro. And then we just stitched that across both the top and the bottom edge of that Velcro to secure it to the Roman shade.
We are ready to put our little wooden sticks in. We're not using dowels because our shade is so big that we would have had to tape some together. So we had the blind that we took apart to use for the header is just a wooden slat blind, and so I just cut 1/4-inch strips of that we're going to use. So I'm going to just show you how we're going to insert those in right now. Okay, so we've got our little pocket here. If you can get it open. There you go. All right, and we just slide in our stick, and that is going to give us the structure that we need to make our blind hang nice and straight.
We made a line on the wall where the bottom of the header piece for the blinds is going to go. And then we are marking where there are studs in the wall. Once the studs were marked and we had the placement for where we wanted to put our brackets in, we just used the drill and some drywall screws to install the brackets across that line. We then pre-drilled some holes into that header through the bracket for our metal screws. They do need to be metal screws. We used some that weren't at first, or tried to, and they would not go into the metal. So if you're using a metal header, they do need to be metal screws.
Now we're ready to loop the cording from our blinds to the Roman shade. So we've stitched on these little rings right where each cord will go. We have 4 that will go across. And this will just help lift the shade up and down like a blind.
Then on the bottom ring, you will secure it with a square knot.
Okay, we are ready to actually hook it up on our Velcro. So up we go. We're just going to center it on our
Sticks good.
you pull from your side, and I'll just do mine after you got yours up. All right. I'm a little crooked.
Hopefully you can see what we're doing.
Well, she wanted blackout, and I think that's doing a pretty darn good job of blacking it out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get it pulled up and show you the finished product. Hello, here we are.
Finally.
Finally here. And it took some work to find something we could stand on so that you could actually see
I do have 9-foot ceilings.
the shades. So I'm on the little step stool and Steph's on the little kid's chair. And she's taller than me today, so
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Anyway, we finally finished this Roman shade. We are so excited, and we love the way it looks in the room. It's just that little hint of blush and floral
Just kind of
with the
ties
navy.
everything all together.
Yeah.
And Ellie came home from school today, first day of school. Oh my goodness, I have blinds.
Yeah, she
Or
was very
curtains,
excited.
whatever she
Yes.
said.
And she wanted to pull them down right
She did.
then so she could see how dark it was going to make her room. Remember, we put blackout lighting on
Yeah,
it.
she wanted it dark, and it is dark.
It is dark, but we needed it open in order to film.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed the tutorial, learned some maybe tips. Yes, tips and
sure.
tricks
Yeah.
from how we showed you to do it. And yeah, we're just happy with the way it turned out. It's really cute. And if we ever need to wash it, we just take it off the Velcro.
Take
It'd
off
be easy to
the
do.
cords off, and it can be cleaned.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, type them below. We love hearing from you. Make sure to subscribe to our channel if you have not already. We love sharing our projects with you. We're always busy doing something. And if you have any projects that you would like to see us do, or maybe have questions how to do yourself, let us know. And we love getting suggestions.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So also you can subscribe to all of our social media in the links below. And I think that's about it.
All right.
So
thanks for watching, and here at Sunnyside Design, we hope to bring your home to the sunny side of the street.